Alrighty, welcome everybody to Rad Pod and Chill. My name is Heidi Kuda. I'm here with Jim Stewartson and High Fidelity, and we have a lot of breaking news. But first, we have to uh, pay respect to the fact that I'm having a good hair day because that's really important.
That is good hair.
Heidi's having a fantastic day.
I got having a good hair day, and my nails are done, and so we're ready to just jump right in.
Oh shit, your nails are done.
I got
Oh, I know. That never
happens.
happens.
For the show, and I got bed beard. So ignore my beard today, people. It doesn't exist.
Oh, now everybody's going to be focusing on your beard. Your beard
Leave
always
my beard
looks
alone.
fly. Your beard always looks fly. Hi-fi.
Are we live? Yeah, we're live. Okay, cool. We're live over there. Are we live streaming on the YouTubes?
We're on the YouTube.
I don't know.
I'm checking out the YouTube.
I don't know.
I hope Marie joins us.
She's
Marie,
amazing.
if you're out there, say
she
hello.
doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep. She's
Well,
like all
you
the
heard
way
about
to
what
France.
happened. You heard about what happened, right?
No.
In southern France? Yeah, so today.
Oh, yes. Okay, go ahead.
Today in the news, Zscaler reports that undersea internet cables were cut in southern France and damaged north of Scotland, the connection to the Shetland Isles.
Well, before we talk about that, I thought something happened to her dog or something. Like, okay, so I'm very relieved to know that Marie is okay.
I know that was a little.
Sorry,
you buried the lead there a little bit, buddy. I mean, I'm lucky because she was on my Zoom call, so
okay. So Marie's got internet. That's the important part.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't care about the rest of France as long as Marie has internet.
I know she's so great. I mean, she's just a lovely human being, great sense of humor, a good friend of the show. So I retweeted my Keir Giles irreconcilable differences thread because 3 years ago this month we did a thread because he did another report for NATO about how the West continues to think we can have this better relationship with a mobster mafia state, terrorist state, and it doesn't ever happen. He's like, the new leaders come in, they're so optimistic, they think they're going to be able to make nice with Russia. But one thing he wrote about a lot on that in that particular report was that they like to do their punk terrorism, land, sea, under the water, in the skies. And guess what? There's been no repercussions. So every time they do these cheap tricks and these maneuvers that they can then issue obfuscor. What's the word, Jim? Obfuscation.
Obfuscation. Security for obfuscation.
Sorry. Whenever they have a very strong denial with a lot of obfuscation, it was actually, who did what. So,
well, I mean, let's think for a minute. Let's think for a minute. Germany just had cables cut for their trains, right? They've just arrested a bunch of Russians around, I believe it's in the Netherlands, flying drones outside an airport. Surveillance, what? Reconnaissance, who?
I mean, Nord Stream. Look,
what's it going to take to get people to realize that Russia is at war against the globe?
Yeah.
It's the Gerasimov doctrine. We've been, saying it for fucking ever.
Yeah.
That we are in World War III.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we are.
And we just, whether we want to face that or not is a different story.
I want to face it.
Actually, you want to know something really, really, really interesting? So I posted today. I posted on TikTok today about. Sorry, I don't know why I have an Allen wrench. Posted on TikTok today about how this cutting the cables. This is standard war tactics. They're cutting communications channels.
Sure,
right.
Standard war tactics, and the number of trolls and bots and people I got going. No.
Yeah, that's an occupier army. That's what okay. So Jim, you finish what you were going to say, and then I want to say something.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So my days usually start very early because I'm in the throes of a campaign. It's going to be another, 19 days of fresh hell, but awesome in a way, because it's like going to war. So my day starts so early, but my day started even earlier than campaign early, because Shar Norris, my writing partner for Byline Times, is in the UK. And I woke up to messages from her about trusts and immediately jumped on a Zoom with her to find out what the hell was going on in the UK. And she said, it's so freaking bananas. And at the time I talked to her, which was 6 a.m. California time, you know, Boris Johnson was coming back from Saint-Tropez or something, you know, like he's not an MP with, you know, constituents he should be dealing with. No, he's coming back because it's going to be like, what, Boris 2.0? Like what? And so what I reflected on, Jim, was Brexit was in my opinion, a successful Russian attack
Of
against
course.
UK, and now they have all of this, destabilization, disarray, crazy, economy right now, and it's like, what is this? What does this seem like? Back to war, right?
It's all the same shit. So Brexit, we talked about Calexit, right?
Yeah,
Which was
right.
this guy Ian Off.
Yeah.
Now there's Lexit. Have you heard about this? Which is some dude who is trying to get Latinos to not vote Democrat, and he's calling it Lexit. And he's got 125,000 people on Facebook that are following his complete, like QAnon adjacent garbage. And guess what? Where he's gonna be getting his money, right? Like, these are all very relatively cheap ways of breaking off enormous groups of Americans into
Right.
identity groups, right?
Right.
Which is it is literally the warfare tactic that Flynn and his allies have been very clear that they are employing, just identity politics, which can turn into civilizational turmoil, because you have
Exactly.
people who are identifying with groups that are extra legal, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying things to each other that are also extra legal.
Right.
I don't know if anyone saw, but Laura Logan was just Newsmax
Yeah.
had
Right.
to ban Laura Logan because Laura Logan just went straight great replacement theory, talked about the
Yeah.
blood of children, the whole thing.
I
Like
know.
they're supposed to be eat bugs while the elites eat the blood of children. Like,
Right. It's just crazy.
even Newsmax was like, yo. but that Laura Logan was on 60 fucking minutes
Yeah, I
for
know.
years.
I know.
Let's go back to when it all started going wrong for
Oh,
Laura
I
Logan.
know.
We know. We know. We know.
So let's be clear. Laura Logan got mind fucked by Eric Prince
Yeah.
a long time ago.
I know.
So if you, my Substack, I've got a breakdown of her 60 Minutes piece on Eric Prince,
Yeah, I remember that.
which is mind blowing. This is after they
Propaganda.
murdered a bunch of
Yeah.
Muslims in their
Yeah.
Templar
Yeah.
fucking like Jeeps or whatever. And
And she
she's
turned
like,
him into a choir boy.
Eric Prince,
Yeah.
please tell us
Yeah.
about your fantastic paramilitary. It's just like,
Yeah. Huh.
I just hate,
Well,
I hate her so much, and she is now fully gone to
I know.
the dark side. Like, she's now the one who will be the headliner at like the fair in
Yeah.
bumfuck Missouri, where they've got 1,500 patriots gathering or whatever.
Yeah.
Who's now
Yeah.
that
Well,
level Z.
it's because I think part of it is that she does have her kidneys looked enlarged. Sorry, I couldn't
Oh,
help
have
it.
you seen the picture with Rittenhouse?
I couldn't help it.
Have you seen the picture with Rittenhouse?
Looks like she's having a kidney issue.
Mm. No, it's bad.
Ooh,
And
Rittenhouse.
That's terrible. That's terrible. I take it back. I apologize.
you shouldn't take it back. It's fucking weird and terrible. Like she has just been transformed into
I know. It's
this
awful.
creature
It's
that
awful.
And you know, I'm not taking any responsibility off of her shoulders.
Yeah.
But who boy did she find herself in the company of some very, very dangerous psychological terrorists who know how to take somebody like Laura Logan, tear her fucking brain apart and put her back together again the way they want, which is exactly what happened to Laura Logan.
By the way,
I'm horrified.
Since you brought up the little boy.
Oh God.
Okay.
This has now been August, September, October, and he's made only $9,000. It's funny what happens when you don't have
I could probably
lawyers.
So, but you know what that says to me too? Do you remember how it was either Jim or you, Hi-Fi, or both of you predicted that when MAGA was done with him, they just dispose of him and discard him? And it seems to me there was a shelf life for the popularity of these people. Remember when he was going on the post-acquittal tour? Here he is with, you know.
But Rittenhouse has no, like, he's a lump of racist, like, dough, right?
Hey,
like he's got no.
That's insulting to dough.
It's true. That is it. I'm sorry. It's insulting to racist dough, for that matter. He is a worthless outside of his image as, you know, this bubble faced little shithead with a fucking gun shooting Antifers. That was all he was good for. And as soon as they tried to put him on TV a few times, it was just like, nah.
It's so awful. Do you remember how they tried to make a star? They tried to make a star out of him. I mean, it's so awful. It's so awful.
Okay, so let's talk about the legal case for a second.
The right wing couldn't make a star out of that fucking kid. Which is,
let's talk about the okay. So the legal case, right? They get $2 million, and Ellen Wood gets 980 grand, and Kyle walks off with whatever, $1 million, right? Did you notice how fast they swooped him up, and he had bodyguards and an entourage?
Yeah,
that was all to take his money from him.
It was all, but it was also.
They want their money back.
It's also like this is part of the war that we're in. And I listened to an MP talk about this. It talked about how we are just kind of trapped by like talentless people, and it's time to be done. And I'm not talking about Rittenhouse. He's a murderer.
That's the story of my life, Heidi.
But oh, Hi-Fi. I'm so glad that we have our Wajibri back, that we are that this is Rad Pod and Chill as it used to be. So what this show is supposed to be, for people who've never watched or just tuning in, is we do an incredible interview episode with a lot of news that we break on drops usually on Mondays. And then Thursday nights, partially to recap some of the news of the day and week, but we like to also tell everybody about the guests that came earlier in the week. And we never do, because there's always so much to talk about, but we must talk about the David Pepper interview. I mean, every week we're like, that's the best interview ever. That's the best interview ever. Brianna Wu, Jackie Singh, Nancy McClain, OMG, you know, John Sweeney, Zarina Zaprisky, you know, Vladimir Demchenko. Those are just some recent episodes. Alex Winter.
Not Vladimir.
Volodymyr. I can never pronounce anything. It's just how, I don't know.
Well, Heidi, you know, you have like 34 other guests that you're gonna have to like list. So
Shar Norris, Paul
we'll be here all night.
Dave Troy, Brent Allpress, like, oh my gosh, Dr.
All right,
Charles
and now there's even fewer people who are madder.
So, Martin
By the way, have we?
Martin Shield, Milo,
how's Marty?
or you know what? I got to check my emails because I sent him that mob roll up from the Russia, the indictments that just came down yesterday. So I need to get his.
Oh, for the smuggling military hardware
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
buddy. That's a good one.
But why I really do want to bring up David Pepper, and I would actually like to show a clip if we can, so people who have not yet watched the episode will please do this. Again, I wish we were doing this for profit. We are not. We basically, have a couple lovely people that help us pay a few bills, but for the most part, this is just civic duty at this point. David Pepper's interview must be seen. If you guys please can you share it with 10 people, because we need you to make 10 people also vote. If you have to hold their hand to bring them to the ballot box, please do. But David Pepper lays out that we have got to stop playing defense and think that getting our president or getting the right senator is going to save our democracy. It's not, because we're going up against a network that plays a long game and is in our state houses. And in those state houses, they have their operatives that are then pushing things to be challenged at the Supreme Court level. And that is why Roe is overturned. And that is why we are continually under assault with our election systems. And yes, go ahead. You can do a much better job, Jim, probably than me, but I'm passionate.
Well, how about we let David do it?
I just wanted to mention the Rachel Maddow podcast.
Yes.
Because
that thing was
important for a lot of reasons. So I'm not going to go into a big thing about it, but just based on just to back up what you're saying, Heidi, put a little hope in. Back in the 30s, there was a very large pro-Nazi movement in the United States. And there was a credible plan to overthrow the government, including they had munitions, they had military equipment, the whole thing. They wore little outfits and were fucking scary. And the New York Times at the time said, "Oh, they're just a bunch of crackpots," right? Which is, kind of how that goes.
Yeah, right.
Turns out they weren't crackpots at all. They had cells of people all across the country. Right. They had connections to ammunition depots and shit, and they were going to set off simultaneous attacks all across the country. And it was a very advanced plan. And it was led, the mouthpiece was this guy, Father Coughlin, who was the largest media personality in America in the 30s. And all
that shit sounds so familiar.
He is literally a pro-Nazi fascist who was organizing, and was full anti-Semite, kill the Jews, blah, blah, blah. So this all sounds very bad and very familiar, right?
Right, yeah. Right.
So the New York Times and the press.
And to be clear, Jim was citing somebody. He does not advocate anything. So Jim was repeating what somebody said. I just want to make sure for any asshole.
We are relating history, people.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
History.
Where was I?
You were talking about Father Conklin being a horrible, horrible human being.
So Father Conklin had ginned up a whole bunch of pro-Nazi sentiment, including in law enforcement and the FBI. So the FBI and law enforcement were slow rolling any investigation into this shit. The New York Times is calling it a crackpot thing.
Yeah. Dangerous.
Does any of this sound familiar?
Does any of this sound familiar, people?
So guess what happened? A group of scrappy ass anti-fascists fucking went in there, infiltrated that shit, exposed them for what they were, and made it impossible for these feckless fuckers to ignore it.
Yeah,
and they broke it up. They had to. They had no choice. They broke it up. The leader of it was charged with seditious conspiracy.
Wow.
Went to jail for 8 years. Should have been much worse than that.
Right.
But, you know, they did the usual thing where everyone got really away with it. But at least they broke that shit up. And the reason they broke it up was because there are people out there like our viewers who did shit, who fucking exposed shit, who did not put up with what they saw in front of them, which were people trying to overthrow the government of the United States and turn it into a fucking Nazi country.
That's right. You just made me.
Let's hold. I'm almost done my fucking TED talk. Let's remember that shit.
Yes.
It's been done before. Fucking Hitler tried to do it over here in the 30s. Putin's been trying to do it over here for fucking decades. And all of the stuff that he's been putting in place, all the influence, all the bad actors, all these fucking morons who are running around chasing us around and everybody else who's trying to do anything. That's just his motherfucker's influence who put it in this country just like Hitler did in the 30s. So if y'all you guys pick and choose which fucking side you want to be on. Right. That's all I'm saying. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right, Hi-Fi, you going to get that out or am I going to speak?
I just have one thing to say. This cycle has repeated so many freaking times. I'm a little bit tired of it. And I hope that, what is this, the third time in this country? I hope we finally learn our lesson and make a statement about those who did this that people remember for the next 100 years.
Here, Hi-Fi. What I was thinking when Jim was talking is that people, I'm going to ask you to do one thing for us. Don't be afraid to be right. Don't be afraid of knowing what you know and letting people know. Don't be afraid to be right. It's okay. It's okay. You are seeing what we're seeing. You're seeing it in your communities, and it's okay. And people may not get it right away, as they often do not. But one of our viewers of our show, who watches every episode plus the live streams, God bless her, just called me because she actually told off her boss. He came into her office spouting fake news from his Fox cauldron or his Newsmax cauldron. And she just looked at him and she goes, "You're wrong. That's fake news. Better change the channel." And he just kind of laughed it off. She was cool, but she was just like, you know what? You better get your facts from somewhere else, because that is false. Now, I told her there's a good chance he might be addicted to whatever he's watching. People who watch these stations are often addicted to what they're being fed, the outrage, the superiority, the othering of people.
Rage farming.
Rage farming, of course. But I was just thinking when Jim was talking, it's like, it's okay to be right. It really is. And to own it. And I'm saying that as much to myself because I've been getting calls from people all across the country who do watch our show, who read Jim's Substack, are probably watching what Hi-Fi is doing over on TikTok. And they are so afraid.
Talk about that.
Edit this and post. They are so afraid of what's happening because they're looking at what's going on with Musk. They're looking at some of the sources that they thought were trusted news sources, and they don't know what to believe, and it all feels so big, and then they get caught in that despair web. No, like Jim said, that it's always a small group of people that band together to change the world. And we may not have the money and we may not have the immorality, but we definitely have the truth and the heart and the bravery. So, just remember that.
I got so much willpower. I just want them to know I ain't the one, and y'all picked me. That's on you.
That's true. That's true. They created this monster. I forget.
All
about
I
that.
wanted was Rittenhouse taken down, and you wouldn't do it.
No. He didn't want Rittenhouse taken down. He wanted
I wanted the Rittenhouse fundraiser on Give, Send, Go taken down.
And
that's what I wanted.
Created a monster.
All I wanted to do was eliminate QAnon.
Gosh.
I picked that up as a secondary. That was like a side mission for me.
Yeah, all I wanted.
I know that was your side mission. That's always been your side mission. Number 1 is Give, Send, Go. Number 2 is QAnon. I'm totally fine with that.
So number 1 is billionaires. Number 2 is Give, Send, Go. Number 3 is
but billionaires. It's like it's like hating liver. Like
I love liver and onion. I will eat it all day.
Oh
my
no!
God, that sounds so good.
Really?
That sounds so good.
You don't like the Midwest?
So now that we've talked about,
dude, whatever.
Now that we've talked about,
you know what it is, right?
Liver.
It's like it's the filter. It's where all the shit that's not supposed to go into your fucking blood goes. It's Jim, like the poison catcher.
Something awful. 4chan.
It tastes like that.
Okay.
Yes, liver and onions is what 4chan tastes like. Actually, you got to leave it out for like 4 days.
So now that we've talked about kidneys and liver, it's time to talk about a horse's ass. So all I wanted back in 2016, when I still had a pretty beautiful life. My life is very beautiful now, but I'm saying that life was the kind of life that's beautiful on paper as well. You know, this life's a struggle, of course. What we do is hard. But back in 2016, all I wanted was for a guy who owned beauty pageants to not be in the White House. And yes, I knew he was always affiliated with Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes because I'd investigated him. I knew he was a fake rich guy. But the idea of having somebody who owned beauty pageants who rated women on a scale of 1 to 10 was unacceptable. And people of my generation had worked too hard. The women who came before us had worked too hard, and that was unacceptable. And so, of course, I pressed send on my first anti-Trump blog on September 17th of 2016. And yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I had my day too. Where I put my name on my first Medium post. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Yeah, the Rittenhouse thread.
That's what it was. I pulled on the Rittenhouse thread. Next thing I know, I've got supervillain billionaires.
Yeah.
They
but you know why, Hi-Fi?
They don't like the attention.
Well, they piss me off too bad. They have my full and utter attention for the rest of their lives.
They don't like the attention. They don't like the attention. You know, I gotta say, I gotta say Joseph. Thank you. I gotta say, I'm gonna just say thank you very much to Project Veritas and to the fake resistance and to all the people who came so hard for me in 2018. I just want to thank you so much because by upending my life in the way that you did, I got complete and total freedom to annihilate y'all every damn day, 24/7. So thank you. And with Jim and Hi-Fi by my side, you know, yeah. So thank you.
You're enabling.
Hey, you know what?
Heidi.
Hold on. Yeah, I got to break the cheerleading. Hold on. Let's watch David Pepper real fast. Come on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, where did I put it? Oh, it's down here.
Almost
got it. It's right. No, here he is. Watch this.
All I fight like hell for the next 20-something days, because if we don't do this, that worries. But if Masters and Vance and the Republicans running for the House Supreme Court and all the others lose, so we get a national abortion law in place, and we have a state Supreme Courts saying abortion is a right enshrined in the Ohio Constitution, and that's all in balance right now. If that happens, then we protect it and we don't let it settle. If we fail, I'm telling you, we'll talk on a call in 10 years. My fear is it will settle in. So this is the moment when we still feel the outrage. It's faded some. Someone tweeted back to me, by the way, on my thread, that they think the reason Dobbs leaked early was to let it start settling in earlier.
Yeah, we do too.
I don't know, but I think it had that effect.
We do too.
So we have an obligation for those in the future who will not know what things were like to fight right now to protect the world we're in before it starts settling later. And the people who are my kids, when they're old enough to figure it out, if we don't do this, the only world they'll have known, just like the people don't know a baggage fee is something that they didn't have before, they will not know that abortion wasn't banned everywhere, and they won't challenge it because it's the only thing they've known. It's scary, but my hope is it inspires those of us who right now, most of us know this is the world we want to protect. For those that are behind us, we have a chance to protect it. We better fight like hell right now. And that's why whether it's the Ohio Supreme Court races, whether it's Val Demings in Florida, whether it's Mark Kelly in Arizona, wherever you can protect the current status and fight for the national protection of abortion, everything else. This is the moment that fight may decide everything.
I mean, look, you're muted, Boomer.
Okay, now I want to play Eye of the Tiger. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Here, I need to say something. Fucking what David said, right? Not all the dumb bullshit that is being put in front of you to distract you. Libs of TikTok is not that fucking important. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Stop being distracted by this dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. Make sure everybody look. The time for trying to run propaganda and all of that shit is done. Now it's about literally getting all the people that you know, and making sure not only that they vote, not only that they promise they're going to vote sometime, maybe before sometime between now and then, fucking now. Yeah. And the reason is because Mike Flynn and his allies are going to attack the midterms hard. I am telling you now. I told you before 1-6. I am telling you now. They are coming for it. Flynn is going to be a poll watcher. They're going to have 30,000 fucking veterans out there, watching polls or whatever.
What?
So hold on. I'm almost done. Right. So do not get involved in that shit unless you want to stand up for your neighbors and friends and go be a goddamn poll watcher yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure these asshats don't intimidate your loved ones and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly now. Mm-hmm. I think every state or most of them, you can vote now. You can get your goddamn vote in the mail. You can go to the polls. You can go wherever, but you need to do it now because anything that around the actual election day is they're coming for it. They're coming for it really hard, and they're gonna bring everything else into it. The ballot boxes and shit, and all of this propaganda. But just for fuck's sake, just as David said, there's nothing more important than getting the vote out, because these races are tightening. Fucking Masters, is looking good. Fetterman is losing ground. Fucking
Beto, you saw that, right? Beto tightening.
So get the fuck out there, please, or just get your goddamn just sign the thing and get it in the mail. That's all, and then call people and make them do it too.
And make sure you get the phone number for election protection in your local area. Call the Democrats, be like, hey, my neighbor's doing election protection. They're making sure no funny business is going on in Ohio. They know about this. We've told them. So
yeah.
So I want you to get rid of this headline because I don't want people to be afraid. And that looks like, okay, yeah, that's going to happen.
Oh, no. The reason I was showing that is because there has been a lawsuit. Okay, so the rumor on Twitter is there has been a lawsuit filed.
Okay, but
I don't know if that's true or not.
Let me finish what I wanted to say. I would much rather see the headline that shows that the early reporting in Georgia is breaking all kinds of records. That's what I want to see. I want people to know that we are so taking this seriously and that Democrats are going to show up in the crushing numbers that we are. And the 100 million people that sat out the last one and the one before are going to show up. And I think we can make that happen if we all bring 10 people to the poll and we encourage them to vote for Democrats that are not.
Let's stop putting a number on it and just say, bring your whole crew.
Yeah, bring your crew. If you know 20 people, bring 20 people. If you know elderly people, offer to help them. Like, let's make this wonderful. If you can throw voting ballot parties, if you're somebody who, who likes to, bake cookies, throw a, cookie baking party for your neighbors, get everybody voting.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing we have to do. This right here. Right here. Do that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jim.
More.
Mm-hmm.
Just
do that more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what we have. It's a sacred right. We have this beautiful sacred right, and it's under attack because there are anti-democratic forces that are trying to destroy our democracy from within. I realized it's not just money, ideology, power, greed, religion, white supremacy, all these things that we look at in, kind of that we are scoping out. It is a sociopathic gluttony that wants to harm the world as much as possible.
Yes. Listen, women's rights, gay rights, gay marriage, interracial marriage.
Yeah.
They are serious. They have a supermajority on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The only way that we can combat it, because we can't do it through the courts, is legislatively. We can't do that unless we get 52 fucking senators and win the House.
Hey guys,
again, don't be distracted by dumbassery. And these people out here who are pushing these stories that are designed to inflame people on both the left and the right should be ashamed of themselves. On both sides. And they're fighting with each other. You can see it out there on Twitter, man. They're just fighting back and forth to get everybody all riled up about this shit that doesn't fucking matter. What matters is women can't get health care in America. That's what matters.
And what matters is that we have had social inequities related to women's health care. We have had, we've had multiple battles within the rights for women's health care and women's reproductive rights. I do think that David Pepper seems pretty confident, and we have evidence of what happened in Kansas, that women could actually save democracy if they wanted to, if they all show up, supported by the men who love them and love their families and mothers and
they're the only
children.
reason why we're here in the first place. So.
Yeah, right. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I know. It's just
yeah. So sorry for the guys, and we know that the people watching us here are fully engaged. If you've
yes,
made
they
it, if
are.
you made it through the fucking gauntlet
If you
to,
made
to,
it this
to
far,
this live stream,
Yeah,
you're a hearty soul, and we love you and
we do.
appreciate you. And we're not yelling at
We do.
you.
We
We're
do.
just we're this is our
we're
way of
yelling
chilling.
into the void.
We're
So
and trying to, I guess, also make you not feel crazy for feeling, hopefully, I think the same way we do. So
yes,
Right.
and
I felt the need to step back and not make our viewers feel like they're under attack, because we know you're doing your part.
yes, thank you so much. Just being here gives us reassurance. Why am I echoing, echoing, echoing? Am I echoing on
No,
anyone else's
no,
end? All
no,
right, all
no,
right, all right.
no.
So when Sharn and I were talking, because Sharn has done so much work, she, like you, lurks, like, will go into the telegrams to try to follow, what the narratives are. She's documented so much on white supremacy, incels, all of that. She's documented, you know, for years the whole issues with Gamergate and misogyny online. She's just the world's greatest feminist, as far as I'm concerned. But we were talking about those who commit online harms. And this was again 6 a.m., talking about trust and what's going on in the UK. And she was basically saying, and this is her words, they're like an occupier army pushing false narratives to discredit truth. And remember back in quaint 2016, when we thought we could have conversations? We thought we could just like have like, so that's how you feel. Oh, okay. Well, here's what I think. And then the concern trolling would happen, as Jim had explained to me, the sea lioning, and I'd be like, oh, what the hell, what's going on? No. So one thing that I do think is that I have underestimated them as an occupier army. These aren't just like one-off freaks. These are people doing a job to discredit and suppress truth. And I'm going to report every single one of them to the FBI until the FBI actually wakes up and decides, unlike what they did with Brianna Wu in 2014, which is absolutely nothing. At some point, there will be some action has to be taken. So I'm looking forward to that day. We see it happening in other countries. We're starting to take some action here. It's not coming fast enough, but the ability just to harm people for profit and to suppress truth at some point is going to come to an end. And I am looking forward to that day. And I want the harshest punishment too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look. There's a. I keep saying it. There's just a lot of fuckery. There's a lot of influence. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of brainwashing that's gone on. To make a significant part of our population effectively the enemy, right? In their own mind. It's not that they're the enemy, it's that we're the enemy to them. Because they've been brainwashed to believe that.
Yeah.
And
But they're all just scared of me.
Well, you're different, dude. They have every right to be scared of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the people in the basement, the whole
the whole thing.
Oh yes, my large cache of weapons.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. Like these people don't know what trolling is. It's amazing. Anyway, you think they know, considering they're paid to do it, but whatever.
So for the record,
of
the
course
basement is imaginary, and the large stash of
it's all
is
a
imaginary.
fucking joke, please.
But I am like almost impossible to hate.
Probably.
Like you got to work so hard.
Stop it! Stop it!
You gotta leave a little mystery out there.
Oh, so I put stop it. So I put up the thing about the cables being cut, and everybody called bullshit. And I just want to show you, like, Zscaler. Boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Internet cables cut. Blah 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 blah. So just so
Yeah.
people don't think I'm full of crap. So,
What were those websites though? Was it like
CRN, IS Preview, Business? These are all technical stuff.
I don't know. And anything
Okay,
that,
bro.
It's true.
I keep telling you
Look,
not to
I
put
keep
shit
an
up
eye
on
on the
the
Hacker
stream.
Underground.
the
Don't
snakes
do
have
that, man.
legs,
Don't do it. You did it again. Don't do that.
I keep an eye on the Hacker Underground. This is going around.
All right.
Going around in the Hacker Underground. Okay, but okay.
That sounds like
and that's fine as long as you say it's going around in the Hacker Underground.
All right, going around in the Hacker Underground. Well,
that's
VX
okay.
Underground. I mean, and
because
they're
that's not
reputable.
necessarily, you know.
Is going around on the
Yeah.
Hacker Underground the new writing on the metro?
That's part of the problem with
Writing on the
cybersecurity. There's so many
metro.
liars and sociopaths in it.
Exactly.
You notice that?
So you should, just verify.
Well, that's why I'm a solution architect and not a coder.
Perestroika.
Distrust, verify. What's going on here? I think we lost the plot somewhere. So
there was a plot.
What plot? First of all,
billionaire super villains trying
plot.
to take over the world. That's our plot.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of that. I think we need a mid-season replacement for that.
Like I don't know what we need to do.
It's the whole thing. Just sometimes you just think this dumb simulation, man.
Yeah, right.
Elon Musk replied to the president of Russia, nice troll, man, or something. No, it was nice troll, to be honest.
Yeah.
To Medvedev.
Yeah.
And then he said something like, "Oh, how's it going in Bakhtu or whatever?" Asking about military.
That's where Volodymyr is. How's he doing? Have we talked to him lately?
I haven't, but the point is that's disgusting, and it's just straight up appeasement. And then there's another one where somebody suggests that Donbass should be actually what they're negotiating instead of Crimea. So he's gone from you should negotiate over Crimea to Crimea you should definitely give to Putin, and now you should talk about giving him the Donbass too. This fucking guy is literally contractually obligated to buy Twitter. Do you understand?
And why is he getting involved?
Do we understand how fucked up that is?
So,
he's a fucking Putin.
I know. We can't have that. We can't have it. We can't have it.
He's the Vichy's. He's the.
I know.
Terrible elite that appeased Hitler because they didn't give a shit about the Jews or anybody else. And Elon's worse than that because he's actively trying to make it happen himself. Right. He's actively trying to destroy Mars or Earth so we can move everybody to Mars. It's fucking insane, and I'm sick of this simulation. Turn it off.
I did hear a funny one, though. I saw somewhere out there in the verse, I saw a funny one that somebody had written.
Was this going around in hacker circles?
No. This was Sockment. This was social media, right? Leave it to Elon Musk to take a $40 billion company and turn it into 4chan.
Oh my God. I think that there was actually a very good Liz Truss. That's pretty funny. I think there was actually a very good Liz Truss Twitter. What did you say? Because everybody's like, is Truss what's going to last longer? What's going to last longer, the lettuce or Liz Truss? And so there was
obviously the lettuce has won. The lettuce won. Apparently Liz Truss could not romaine.
Marshall Patain.
So,
oh man, you're spinach out of control.
So, oh my God, that's so good. So I was just
I can't help it, bro.
Oh, stop. Oh my God. Okay, I wanted to know if Musk is like.
Are you a little jealous, Heidi? You're a little jealous.
No, if I could get my joke out.
She's a microgreen.
If I could get my joke out, I would own you guys right now. I was gonna say, is Musk like Marshall Pétain but with plugs?
Too esoteric.
Okay.
You lost me.
Well, Jim was talking about Vichy, but yeah, no, it's very serious though, actually, because we are. If you look at Twitter like a territory, it's a country the size of what, I don't know, America. Like I don't know what's okay. Right. So it's a country the size of America. So somebody who clearly has snow on his boots would actually be the person who, it would be the emperor of this territory, and that would be bad.
But it's not just a Putin thing, right?
Yeah, right. But the good news is that when it happens, we will defect elsewhere and let them all just devour each other.
I mean, that sounds great, but I still haven't seen anything out there. I mean,
well, we're working on it.
Look, he's gonna get rid of. He said he's gonna get rid of 75%. That's just dumb. Like it will literally stop working because Twitter is such a disaster. They need all of these people to be like hovering over buttons all day long to make sure it stays up. Yeah. This is a fucking mess. And they've got all these fucking asshats out there with all kinds of controls and shit, doing all kinds of weird shit, like banning people for doing nothing wrong.
Right. Well, you saw what Dave Troy did. Dave Troy isn't waiting for the troll brigade to come artificially, get him terminated. He's like, please follow me here because I'm finding myself increasingly going, after Musk, and I don't think I'll be long for this platform. You saw Dave Troy's thread.
I was writing a Musk thread at the time.
It's like, yeah.
I was like, psychopathic acceleration is bit. Shit.
Click.
My favorite thing of everything that you've ever done, and I wish we had it to show right now, is the fake Zoom call, the secret Zoom call, the first one between Musk and Putin. Because Jim, it was not only a work of genius, but like 2 days later, there was a secret phone call that was reported.
It was obvious that Musk, I mean, that's who Musk is, right? Like he's like, look, here I am with my kid who looks really upset and has the worst hair ever seen with the Pope.
Yeah.
Right? Because Nancy went.
Did look upset. Yeah.
Because Nancy went, and so Elon had to go too and be like, I could go visit the Pope too, bro. And so when there's something when there's an international emergency, he's going to be like, oh, I'm just going to go talk to Putin and I'll figure it all out. And then he talks to Putin, and Putin's like, I'm doing my magical spell into your brain. And then Elon Musk is like, here's what we should do, everybody. Just give him Crimea. It'll be fine. Otherwise, he's going to nuke everybody. Like,
I need to say something now.
Yeah.
Dear Elon Musk, I know the restaurant where you got that borscht, and I regret to inform you that was not sour cream.
Okay. I was waiting for he's a problem, but I like the borscht and the sour cream. Okay, so
I'm sure you got it, Heidi.
Oh, there was something metaphorical. Oh, okay. Yes, I got it. Okay. No, I was looking for an anagram. I
hope someday he sees that. I hope somebody plays that for him.
Someone's watching for him, I assure you.
I know they are.
Okay, so
little hair plug Lex Luthor wannabe beta. So far looking motherfucker.
Okay, stop it.
Dude, he had to give somebody a horse in order to I mean, don't say any words.
Don't say
We
words.
are non.
Okay. Okay. So are we over
He
the
did
are
make
we
a whole
over
robot.
are we over the
He
borscht
could have made a
jizz
robot to
joke?
do it. That's true.
Well, that's why he made the robot. So now he doesn't have to buy ponies every time.
Okay. I remember when I first signed on to do this show, I told people, they're like, what's it like? I go, it's like herding cats. So are we over the borscht jizz jokes?
What?
Okay.
No, we moved on from that.
No, I was.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
hallucinogenic. Anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Now
I
you're
have an
now you
anagram.
put your dirty mind into it. I was making like mushroom jokes, but no.
I have an anagram, and we only have
Anagram.
a couple minutes left. Thank God. Oh my God. Okay, so here's an anagram
Wow.
from one of our amazing. No, seriously, no. Of course, I'm not serious. This is a very serious anagram, though. Okay, are you guys paying attention?
Does it involve borscht? Because
It does. It does.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, because
What
I
the
was
hell?
thinking the word
What?
throb is in borscht.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throbs
like-
even.
Kind of
Probs.
like the lizard for the old school with us. The lizard. Okay. Here it is. Newsmax farts borscht.
Wait,
Newsmax
that
farts
sounds like the
borscht.
result.
Yeah,
No,
I know,
it's
right?
not.
That sounds like this.
It's
this
not.
is
Okay, wait.
It's not.
Newsmax farts borscht.
I don't know. What could you do with
Strap
that?
throbs.
No.
Sorry.
Fox,
It's in there.
Fox, Bruise, Nth Czar scam. Yeah. Newsmax
Fox
farts
Brews
borscht.
and Czar scam.
Yes, like they're,
Oh.
Nth million czar scam. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is a heady anagram.
That is a heady one. That's one of those ones that you need to look at.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
your
lowbrow.
neurons tingle once
I'm
you
gonna
finally
go-
get it. It's
Neurons
it's
tingle.
like little bubbles in the brain.
Only you would say your neurons tingle. It's hilarious. I'm gonna go for a very lowbrow one. We've said this
Good.
one
That's
before.
better.
We've said this one before. We can't assume everybody has seen every episode, although we hope you do. MAGA Republicans. There's two. I'm going to give you both responses because we did one before.
Bubble can blap.
Grumpy guy in a diner. No, MAGA Republicans. A public man's rage.
A public man's rage.
Yeah, it's deep, man. And then here's the other one. A mea.
That's good. That's a good one.
really good. I know. A mea culpa bargain. I don't know. The guy who does this for us is like PhD level stuff. A mea culpa
Mega
bargain.
culpa bargain.
I like public.
a mea culpa
Gain
bargain.
barge gap.
Hey, so two things we didn't talk about, and we're going to talk
Wait,
about.
what was it?
What? A
She
mea
said
culpa.
we
No,
were-
MAGA Republicans is also a mea culpa bargain. Yeah, a mea culpa.
Oh,
Mea
I was trying to make another
MEA?
anagram out of it. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, okay. Thank you.
I got more, but I'll stop there.
I briefly
Is it
lost.
actually
the
MEA?
plot.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I got one more.
Okay,
more.
one more.
One more. Defeat Putin. Defeat Putin.
Defeat Putin.
Defeat.
Defeat Putin.
Defeat.
Defeat Putin is faded cat.
Close.
You're terrible at these.
Close. Check it out. Got to listen. Patient feud.
Wait.
Patient feud.
Patient feud.
Okay.
And you know why I like that is because I've learned by watching how the Russians and the Kremlin operates. Their objective is 4 steps out, and they work their way back. They know what they want.
Oh,
and they work their way back.
it is patient. I mean,
Yeah,
look, they Putin started on Ukraine as soon as he got there, and in 2003 is when he brought Manafort in. It's been 20 years of this bullshit just for him to get this country, and he's failing, and he doesn't like it. And all the people who've been helping him here for a long time are getting super nervous.
Yes. Hey, hi-fi, in case people did not see episode 45, would it be easy to go out with the same clip from the woman who's the leader of Finland? The beautiful lady.
I have no idea where that is right now.
That's all right. I love
State
that.
dependent learning. I'm sorry. I'm not in that state.
I love what she had to say. So I guess the final.
I think we should go out with what John Sweeney said.
Yes.
Do I have that?
Yes.
Don't suggest.
Yes.
We're on TV, man. Yeah, sort of. Don't you know? You're like, what? Oh, let's see this thing. Oh shit.
So wait a second.
I would like to have 1 second of Josh's information war. I snuck back on to Twitter for a mission.
No. I don't.
And I did it, but then to prove that I did it, I made myself well known and like got instantly kicked. But I also told the source of my mission that I was going to get banned. So mission accomplished, kids. Thanks for proving my point for me.
Oh, I see what he's saying. There's two things that I want to talk about really fast while you look for whatever Sweeney clip we're going to go out with, right?
Okay.
Are you going to do a Sweeney clip? The one thing I want to say is that I had a realization a couple nights ago. About a decade ago, all the right-wing think tanks and the magazines associated with them switched from government waste and Tea Party stuff, and they became obsessed with the issue of homelessness. We're going to be talking more about that. The reason I'm bringing up is I'm watching it being weaponized in California to push people to farther here and farther there, removing the center. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because it's very important. I need people to know how they're being manipulated and how real people are being harmed along the way. The second thing is Lindsey Graham. That's what you get, yo. That's all I want to say. That's what you get. You're not special because you're a senator and you lie and cover for treason and corruption. So good luck. Okay, Sweeney. And if you can't find Sweeney, we could all just say it. I can count us in and we can all repeat John's refrain. Should we just do that?
Let's just repeat it. Let's just repeat it.
Okay, 3, 2, 3, 2.
Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
Do fuck off.
off.